Michael Bociurkiw, he's a global affairs analyst for CNN and a former spokesperson for the Organisation for Security and Cooperation in Europe. Good to see you, my friend. You are also the author of what is on the screen now, your opinion piece at CNN.com. Trump can't dodge the GAO report bombshell about withholding aid from Ukraine. Plenty to talk about as you join us from London. And let's start with Ukraine's announcement that it is investigating the surveillance of Marie Yovanovitch and also the Burisma hacking. That investigation could hurt Trump. I mean, how has this all unfolded in Ukraine at the top levels? What sort of investigation could they conduct?
Good to be with you, Michael. Well, look, I guess on the one hand, Donald Trump did get his Ukraine investigation, but I guess not exactly what he was expecting. It could turn up dirt, if not on him, on his some of the allies in his circle. But I think, once again, Michael, this is one of the things that Ukraine does not want to do. I spoke yesterday here in London with the Ukrainian Foreign Minister Prostayko, and the clear kind of sense I got with him is that here we go once again. Ukraine's name is being smeared, but they are. He did say that look, this fellow Parnas is a bit shady. These are still allegations, but if we find something, we will pursue it. So remains to be seen. But once again, they want nothing more than to stay out of this whole political drama that's unfolding in Washington.
There was something that you picked up on earlier, which is Lev Parnas making the allegation that the quid pro quo wasn't perhaps just for Volodymyr Zelensky, but also maybe for the former president, Poroshenko, that if he announced a Biden investigation, Trump would back him in the election. What did you make of that?
I couldn't believe it. I mean, this is a bombshell, Michael, if true. So last November, the Halifax International Security Forum, Poroshenko was there in Canada, and he was asked point blank, were you shaken down? Was there a quid pro quo kind of threat put your way? And he said, absolutely not. But Lev Parnas, talking to your colleague Anderson Cooper yesterday, said, well, yes, that was indeed the first quid pro quo kind of approach was to Petro Poroshenko, who was in a very, very tight race at the time against Volodymyr Zelensky. Apparently, Poroshenko didn't go for it, and then of course, they switched attention to Zelensky, and we have the situation which we have today. So, what a drama! I don't think anyone in Hollywood could pen such a thing.
Extraordinary. Before I let you go, I did want to ask you about the shooting down of the Ukrainian passenger plane. I know that you're in touch, as you always are, with folks in Ukraine, but also in your homeland, Canada. You're also in Europe, where some of the victims came from. What concerns are there generally about the investigation, the progress of it, the transparency of it?
Right. Well, the 5 ministers of the so-called grieving nations were here yesterday, and they had a press conference. And I think we came away from that, Michael, with the impression that they are frustrated with the lack of progress by the Iranian authorities. But they are going to press as much as they can, first of all, for a very thorough and transparent international investigation. But the other thing they'll want, of course, is the quick repatriation of those bodies to loved ones. There was very quickly one question from me, actually, yesterday to the foreign ministers, and that was what accounted for that 1-hour delay of that UIA plane before it took off from Tehran. And it does appear more and more that there is a difficulty with matching some of the baggage with passengers that might have left the airplane. I think there are going to be more questions asked, but a few more questions over what is a very, very big tragedy for people around the world.
All right, Michael Bociurkiw there in London for us. Appreciate it. Good to see you, my friend.
Thank you.